Hey, it's Heather at Adventures in Gardening, and today we're going to be taking a walk through the tomato growing areas, and we're going to focus on one tomato specifically, and that is Cuore, which is an Italian Oxheart, and then we're going to take it inside and use it in the kitchen. And it's going to be a relatively quick video as well because it is almost dinner time. So, but first I have to tell you, I have almost a near tomato emergency here. In all the years that I've gardened, every year is different. There's always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be something different, and you got to swing with the punches, okay? For the first time ever, I have multiple families of mockingbirds here in the garden, and they have been a little aggressive with the fruits, okay? Every year it's different, and this is just, I'm not ever surprised, okay? But what they're doing now is they are going after the red tomatoes, and I've always left the tomatoes on the vine and let them ripen completely. Not going to be able to do that this year, so I'm going to be picking tomatoes, the big tomatoes, as we go. Cherry tomatoes, they don't seem to notice them yet. So anyway, this is going to be a quick one, so hang on, and here we go. All right, so what a difference a few days makes. We have some plants that are definitely starting to show some distress, and I believe in transparency, so I'll be pointing them out as we go along. We're going to start down on this end. If you are having trouble with any kind of tomato diseases, pay attention, because some of these are more resistant, and they've shown it year after year for me in disease resistance, and this is Bonnie Best right here. The tomatoes, there's none that are near ripe, but it was the same way last year when others start to look not so great. Bonnie Best still looked great. I have some emergency tomato plants that I have put in here. Obviously there are no leaves. I always just see what's going to happen next, leave the tomatoes on. This is Granny Cantrell. Never judge a tomato by the first year. And these results, it's probably me. It's not you, it's me. This is San Marzano, and it is looking really fantastic still. I just started picking black icicle. The birds are leaving the black icicle alone. And that is a Pantano Romanesco that I popped in a few weeks ago when I could see that some of these tomato plants weren't doing as well, or if there was space. Like the black icicle is always a little wispy and wimpy, and so there was a big gap there, so I put that one in a few weeks back, so it's a little bit bigger. And this is German pink, and so far we are looking pretty good. If I had noticed that this one had blossom end rot, I probably would have picked it off before it started to ripen, but look, that's what the birds are doing right there. This beauty, I know it's late in the day, so I'm shooting into the sun here. This is chocolate chestnut, and it shows great disease resistance year after year. It is more of a medium-sized tomato, not a big beefsteak. This is bird. Look at that. Look at that little, oh, yep, okay, swing with the punches. So I will just be picking at, they're not going to finish this one. The chickens will get that one. But I will be picking them and letting them ripen in the house now. All right, this is Wood's famous Brimmer right here. All right, and it always shows good disease resistance for me. Should I pick this one? Yeah, I'm going to pick it. Even though it's nowhere near being ripe, I'm going to pick it anyway, because they got one yesterday that I had to get rid of. And this is Pantano Romanesco. Used to be my favorite bird. The plant itself is looking fantastic. No problems there. The fruits are looking really good. I'm just going to have to just keep an eye out for anything that's starting to ripen. I'm going to have to get up earlier. Plain and simple. This is Cherokee Purple, and I picked one this morning. I'm going to pick this one now. So they didn't touch that one. But we've got some nice looking fruits, and the plants are looking good. And this is pink. Is this pink brandywine? It is. This is pink brandywine, and again, so far so good. definitely not one of the more vigorous looking plants that are out here. If I had a garden that I wanted to plant some disease resistant varieties that were super vigorous, I would do chocolate chestnut, Pantana romanesco, Woods Famous Brimmer, and Bonnie Best. Those would be my top picks. And this other wispy, wimpy looking plant is Orange Icicle. And this one is Orange Strawberry. This one has been struggling for a little while, but guess who's not struggling? We'll have to talk about the elephant in the room one of these days. This is a spoon tomato. Maybe this will be the next tomato that I feature. This is one spoon tomato, not a yellow leaf, not a spotted leaf, not a nothing, and a lot of little fruits down in here. All right, pretty girls. Some tomato. All right, we're going to stop in the greenhouse and take a look at the early wonder that we looked at last week. They are still looking great. I noticed there's a lot of new tomatoes setting on them. Nice and healthy. All right, so you can see, I feel like these cucumbers have really grown since last week that are on the left. On the right are all of the cherry tomatoes, and we will stop and note a few. That is Barry's Crazy Cherry down here. New buds at the top. You can see the cluster of blooms there. Let's see. This is Stupus, large cherry. Just going to show you the ones that have ripe fruit on them. This is blueberry cherry, and our favorite Rosella right here. And there's a few more in here, but there's just no fruit to see right now, because I just picked them yesterday. So, but the plants are looking really good, getting really tall. This is the early wonder that is planted in the ground right here. You can see the cluster of tomatoes down there. It's such a great flavor for tomato. But this is the Cuore on the outside here of the cattle panel that we're going to talk about today. So Cuore is an Italian Oxheart. It means Oxheart. I don't speak Italian, but that's what I read. So it is an indeterminate tomato plant. This one is still growing, still setting fruits. There's a lot of green fruit still in here, down in here. And I have to be honest with you that last year it seemed like there was more fruit on them. So next year we will be growing them in a different location. But this is a good roasting tomato. It is not plum tomato shaped, but it's a good paste tomato, or cooking tomato, I guess you could say. And more birds. Oh, little stinkers. So I am picking everything that is red. And on this other side is Black Beauty, that we actually tried the first one the other day, and both my husband and I are like, so we're not really sure about this one. This basket's pretty heavy. All right, we're gonna head on it. First, you know what? I need scissors. We're gonna go pick some herbs. I always forget about prairie fires, like the redheaded stepchild of the tomato world here, because we're so far off the beaten path. But it here look really great. I have been picking a lot of these tomatoes. This support is always enough for prairie fire. So looking good. So I am after some of these Welsh onions right here. And some of this basil. All right, so I made some sourdough pizza dough, and it probably is a little overproofed here. And this is just equal parts sourdough starter and white flour and some olive oil and some salt. Bit of olive oil. Some garlic. Some mozzarella. So when you spend the whole day in the garden, sometimes you gotta make dinner in a hurry. Just saying. So look, this is a drier tomato with very few seeds, and look at how it slices. Now, how does it taste? Uncooked, it's a lot different from when it's cooked. It still is a delicious tomato, okay? This is a good tomato. I could see it on a sandwich. But when you cook it, we get to a whole nother level. Look at that. A whole nother level of flavor. Now my oven is hot. It's a hot, hot oven. 425 is how I cook my pizzas. And we're going to use some fine Celtic sea salt here. And a little drizzle of olive oil on the top. Now we'll get it in the oven. All right, 7 minutes in the oven. Hot, 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 hot. All right, so I'm gonna give this a few minutes before I cut it, but Cuore tomato. If you like to cook with tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, and have that rich, robust Italian true tomato flavor, then Cuore is one that you're gonna wanna seek out and give it a try next year. Let me know if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed spending time in the garden and the kitchen with me today, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventure in gardening. See you soon.